But the game of tag changed. The game of tag changed. Because now that which is wanting to tag you, because the whole point of playing the game of tag was not to get tagged, not to be it, right? So we learned so many different ways of not getting touched. We would duck, we would jump, we would spin, we would do everything not to get tagged. But then as we grew up, the game still goes on, but the person, the spirit, the power, the intelligence that's wanting to tag us is that which I call the infinite intelligence. And it's trying to tag each and every one by saying, you're it. But because we have learned to not get tagged, we have come up with beautiful, beautiful ways of not to get tagged. For me, it was like, I'm not listening, I'm not listening, I'm not listening, I'm not listening. Some of us say, I don't have time. I have to help my child with their homework. Or I have to prepare for a presentation in the next week. Or whatever the excuse was. I don't want to be tagged. But here's the thing. Spirit keeps doing this. And the thing about this, it doesn't stop. Now it may get a little quiet, but it doesn't stop. Oh my God. Because Spirit's going, you are the one that I need. You are the one. You are the awesomeness of God. T-A-G, tag, you're it. I love it. Thou art God. Dr. Holmes says, in this book, this thing called you, love this thing called you. You belong to the universe in which you live. You are the one with the creative genius back of the vast array of ceaseless motion and original flow of life. You belong, let me read that again. You belong to the universe in which you live. You are one with the creative genius back of this vast array of ceaseless motion, this original flow of life. You are the one. You are it. Tag, you're it. And here's the thing about it, folks, you can't get away from you. Try as you might, you can't get away from you. I want you to take that in for a moment. You are you are one with this creative genius. You are the creative genius. I had a mentor years ago in class, a great class, gosh. And because I just love all of this stuff. I love spirituality. And I just dive in deep. And Dr. Libby Adams began to refer to me as Eugenius. Excuse me. And it took me a number of years, maybe 10 or 12 years, to really accept that, to really grow into it. Because, and this is it, man, because we are all connected. We are all one with that genius. Do you realize how special you are? Okay, and that's not rhetorical. Yes. Thank you. I mean, do you really understand how beautiful you are, how special you are, how genius you are?
Yes?
Thank you. What was that?
We're waiting for you to be done with the question.
Oh, is that what it was? Yeah, right, sure. So Dr. Libby, when she said you genius, and it took me a while to step into that because, well, me and some of your friends, but not you, right? I kind of would be afraid to really accept my awesomeness. I was afraid to accept that, that same intelligence that created all that there is beats my heart. That same divine intelligence that causes the sun to shine and holds the planets in perfect alignment is that which breathes my breath. I am one with this. It took me a while to grasp that and then to believe it and then to know it. But now I know it because sometimes in my email I will sign off, peace and blessings, and my name is spelled capital E-U, capital G-E-N-I-U-S with the number 1. Eugenius 1. Yeah. You are here for more than working day in and day out. We are here for more than just taking up space. There is something within you that wants to be let out, to shine, to express in great ways. Even in that way, even if that way is just an authentic smile. You know, I have realized that we all are here on purpose for a purpose. And that purpose could be just to give a smile to the next person that you see. Because you never know that smile may have changed their entire day. That smile may have lifted them up out of a darkness. Maybe the purpose is just to breathe, or just to be. Have another mentor. Had another mentor who used to say, we are not human doings, we are human beings. So we are here to be, but we know what happens. We got to do. All we have to do so that we can have. Then once I do all that I need to do, then I can get what I need to have. Then I'll be happy. Isn't that backwards? So why don't we put being in first? Because we are human beings. So let me be happy now. And then let me be happy in doing what I do, and then watch all the things that I desire just flow in, because it is God's good pleasure to give. All we need to do is say yes. Why? Because you're the awesomeness of God. Thou art. Is that making any sense? Of course. You know why? Because you're Simi Valley CSL. Abraham Maslow, the father of third force psychology, wrote, if you plan on being anything less than you are capable of being, you will probably be unhappy all the days of your life. The question I have is all, what? What was that? Say that again, Eugene. The question I have, here it is. The question I have is this: what keeps you from being the awesomeness of God that you are? Well, of course. But what about yourself that keeps you from being the awesomeness of God? We come up with so many different excuses. I don't know enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not big enough. I'm not small enough. I'm not. We have sometimes, again, none of you, but me and some of your friends, we have the case of I'm not itis. I'm not good enough. But you know what that really comes down to? We can put all these tags to it, all these labels on it, but what it comes down to this is fear. Fear of being judged. Fear that I won't be liked, which is still being judged. Fear that I'm going to lose friends, or friends I'm going to gain enemies, or fear. And of course, you know, we have many acronyms for that word fear. And I'm going to keep mine clean. You know that one. Forgetting everything is all right. Forget everything and run. But it all comes down to fear. But there's nothing really to fear. Why? Because you are the awesomeness of God, created in the spiritual image and out of the spiritual nature of the divine itself. So why not stand boldly and say, you know what? I am the awesomeness of God. Please say that. I am the awesomeness of God. Do you believe that? Yes. Do you know that to be the truth? Yes. I'm done. Have a good day. Excuse me. Fear. But is it the fear of being judged? Is it the fear of being talked about? Is it the fear of not being good enough? Is it the fear of whatever we think it is? Or is it, as Marianne Williams said, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that fears, that frightens us. It is our light that frightens. I was so scared to shine my light. Oh my God. Until the light kept doing this. And then it began to get louder. And then sometimes what happens is that light, that spirit, that divine expression within you that wants to be birthed will come up with ways of getting your attention. For me, it was going through a crazy, stupid divorce with 4 kids. young kids. But that's what had to happen. That's what had to happen for spirit to come and do what it needed to do. Sometimes it will show up as that, loss of a relationship. The body temple may be going through things, but it's all because spirit is tapping, going, tag, you're it. I need you. I need you. I love Ricky Byers' music. Ricky's music is so amazing. And we all know most of them, but the one, use me, oh God. I stand for you, and here I'll abide till you show me all that I am to do. Now, here's the thing about being shown. We don't have to look for it anywhere because, well, what is it? We don't need to seek or search for anything. It was H.B. Jeffrey who reminded me. He says, we are spiritual seekers. He said, I put it this way, how many spiritual seekers are out there? Now, don't raise your hand. Because it's not, so H.B. Jeffrey says, stop seeking. Be still and know. Be still and know that there's this infinite intelligence that is within each and every one of us that is desiring just to be let out. Tag, thou art God. Oh, but no, not me, Eugene. No. Thou art perfect. No. There is only one that's perfect. But even that one, Yeshua Messiah, the story of Yeshua Messiah, he said, be ye therefore perfect as the Father in heaven is perfect. So then the question that I have for myself is, well, then where is heaven? Oh, that's right. Heaven is inside. So be ye perfect as that which is already within you is perfect. Then once we get to that point, once we grasp that, once we take a hold of that, once you say yes to it, then you go, you know what? I am the awesomeness of God. Don't like the word God? Cool. I am the awesomeness of good. Great. I am, how about great? I am the awesomeness of greatness. I am the awesomeness of grace. Is all of this making sense? Yes. Isn't this fun? Isn't life great? Life is so fantastic, and it's easy. No, it's not, Eugene. Yes, it is. But it is. You ever take the time to watch nature? To be in nature? It's just easy. We have great teachers around us, and they're great big souls in little bitty bodies. And they are always in fun. What I love about kids is that they are always in the now, because there's no other time but now. But me and some of your friends, we would, go back to what used to be, well, I used to, it used to, and all of that is gone. Now is the time to step into the boldness. Now is the time to be not afraid, because being in that fear doesn't even matter. None of that matters. And the reason why it doesn't matter, because Spirit's going to keep knocking. So here's the thing. Thought that fell. There's something in your heart even now that's wanting to be expressed. I want you to close your eyes, take a breath, and ask the question, what is wanting to be expressed? Oh, let the breath out. Yeah, breathe. Now, most of you probably have tapped into that. Some of you may not have yet. And the operative word here is yet. But allow it to come forth, because there is absolutely nothing that can keep your good from being expressed except for our choice not to. So in my notes I have here, shameless plug for the workshop, insert here. Living the 5 steps of prayer. And that's all about more than saying the 5 steps of affirmative prayer or spiritual mind treatment. It's really about living each step. So as the bio said, I was with Home Office for 10 years, and my day gig surrounded prayer. What my job was praying with people and working with ministers and practitioners and training and doing all of that so that we can be on the prayer line 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, praying. Now here's the thing about the affirmative prayer and the World Ministry of Prayer that took thousands of calls a year. The statistics say that 70% of the people who called the World Ministry of Prayer did not go to a center, didn't know what religious science was, did not know what science of mind and spirit was, but they knew that prayer worked. Now, me being the, as my kids would say, the nerd that I am, I started to ask questions. Why does this work? Why does this work? Why do people keep calling who really don't know what science of mind and spirit is? So I began to dig and to dig and to dig, and then my digging then came out to be this workshop that's then evolved into a 6-week course. But the workshop today, I'm going to invite you to come because it is about tapping into living each and every step, living in recognition, recognizing that you are the awesomeness of God, living in the recognition that I am one with the awesomeness of good. And then from that place, we get to declare what it is, then we are grateful for what it is, and then we get to release it. Release is a totally different thing for me now. Being the awesomeness of God. See, release for me now, that 5th step, release for me now is about surrender. And surrender has 2 sides. Did you know that? Surrender, of course, and we hear this all the time. Let me surrender all that does not serve me. Let me surrender the fear. Let me surrender the I can't-itis. Let me surrender all that doesn't or is not in alignment with my highest good. That's one side. The other side is let me surrender to my good. Let me surrender to my grace. Let me surrender to my abundance. Let me surrender to my joy. Why? Because I, you, me, we are the awesomeness of God. Let's surrender to that. Right? Yeah. Why not? Why not? You know, people say, why? Why this? Why that? I say, why not? I have clients who have said to me over the years, you know, Eugene, I've been praying on this and affirming, you know, all this to come, and it's not happening. And my question is, are you allowing it? Are you surrendering to it? Because what happens when we are praying for something, we have this desire, and I love desire because that infinite intelligence brings that desire to us. There's this thing that I say that our desire in God, what we call God, God's will is the same thing. For example, God's will is for us to be in joy. That's my desire. My desire is to be abundant. Okay, that's God's will. So what I'm having to do then is to surrender to it. Let me allow it. And so when I ask my clients that question, are you allowing it? That allows them to then tap into, why am I not allowing it? Because here's the thing, we don't need to create anything. It's already done. All we need to do is allow it. All we need to do is open up. All we need to do is say, tag, I am the awesomeness of God. And from this space, I get to receive it because it's already given. Tag, you're it. Nobody can live your life the way you can. No one can sing the song, write the book, paint the painting like you can. There's nobody on the face of the planet like you. I want you to hold up one finger. Take a look at that fingerprint. There's nobody on the planet that has that same print. You are the awesomeness of the one. How cool is that? It's very cool, Eugene. Because it is. It is. But you know what happens, and I don't like clocks. So what happens is that, you know, we get into, okay, again, none of you, but me and some of your friends, get into this old way of these old habits of not being enough. But now it's time to break out of that and claim our boldness. Remember that you are the thing itself. You are created. You are created in the spiritual image and out of the spiritual nature of the divine itself. What's that artist's name? India Ari? If I am created if I am created in its image, then call me by my name. In closing, I'll say that 2 more times. Do not be afraid to be bold. Do not be afraid to show up as your awesome selves. Do not allow yourself to hinder yourself any longer. Thou art God. Tag, you're it. And in closing, one of the things I like to say is that, within my prayer work, is that, and this is the second step, unification, that you are created in the spiritual image, and after the spiritual nature of the intelligence of God, of spirit, whatever you want to call it. You are created in that spiritual image and out of the spiritual nature of God itself. So my question is, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with that knowledge? Are you going to still sit back? Or are you going to show up boldly? Big, bad, bold, and bodacious. Why not? See, because Spirit is here as you. My Tai Chi over the years has taught me this. And in closing, told you I'm going to say 2 more times. In closing, 3 more times. What my Tai Chi has taught me. So we know about the crown chakra, and we know about the soles of the feet. So when we stand, I want you sometimes, today, tomorrow, sometime during the week, when you're standing, to become aware of this, that the crown, and feel how the heavens of the sky is touching the head, and then feel how the earth, the gravity of the earth is pulling on the feet. And when you tap into that, then recognize that you are the place where heaven meets earth. Let's pray. And so we take this collective breath. Please, Mr. Joyce. Please. Being aware of the inhale, connecting with that exhale. Allowing the breath to remind us that there is only this moment right here and right now. Thank you. Yeah. See, we cannot take a breath for 5 minutes from now, nor can we take a breath for 10 minutes ago. We can only take this breath in this moment, for this moment is all that there is. And so in this moment and with this sacred breath, I speak the word. And I ask the practitioners and the ministers in the room to please stand during this treatment. It is with this sacred breath that I speak this word, recognizing first and foremost that there is this infinite intelligence, and it may be known by so many names. Sometimes it is called God. Sometimes it is called Krishna. Sometimes it is called Buddha. Sometimes it's called Allah. Sometimes it's called Yahweh. But whatever it is called, we call it forth into this conscious awareness, recognizing that it is everywhere present at all times. For in the beginning, God, the Alpha, the Omega, the in-between, all that there is and ever shall be, is God in that which we see and do not see. That which we hear and do not hear, that which we know and the yet to be known, it is still all God, that divine infinite intelligence that lives, moves, and has its being in, through, and is all of life. And so recognizing that God is everywhere present at all times, I recognize that at all times it is present right where I am, for no matter where I go, this infinite intelligence expresses in, through, and as the I am that I am. And as I know this to be the truth of my life, I know this to be the truth of each individualized expression sitting here at Centers for Spiritual Living, Simi Valley. They're right where we are, right here, right now. God is, we are. And so it is from this awareness, this knowing of our oneness in God, that I speak this word, knowing that even in this time of now, that this word goes forth to prepare the way, making sure that every path is straight and smooth. And so I call forth divine grace. I call forth divine wisdom. I call forth prosperity. I call forth health, wholeness, and well-being. And in this vibration, this collective vibration, I invite you to call out your name. In this divine vibration of healing, I invite you to call out your name. And then I want you to call out the name of the first person that comes to mind who is wanting to be in this healing vibration of prayer. These are the names of the divine. God known by any other name, it is still God. And so as these names have been called forth, it is a vibration that goes forth into this healing consciousness, knowing that whatever it is that we desire, it is absolutely, completely, and abundantly being fulfilled in this moment. Not going to be answered, it is answered right here and right now. This is what we know to be the truth. So knowing that this is already done, I give great thanks. For this and for so much more than my eyes can see, for this and for so much more than my ears can hear, for this and for so much more than these words can ever possibly convey. I truly stand in the vibration of gratitude. I am thankful that this word is complete. It is from this vibration of gratitude that I release my word. I surrender. I take my hands off of it, knowing that as I surrender it, the law truly, which is the subconscious mind, the law absolutely takes these words, molds them, shapes them, then returns them back to us, not void, not empty, but absolutely, completely, abundantly, and joyfully fulfilled. And so fulfilled, we now allow it to be. Simply because our word is a law unto its own self, knowing only its own fulfillment. And as Dr. Holmes would say, the word, of course, is spirit's ability to declare itself into manifestation, into form. So from this point, with great grand gratitude and celebratory thanksgiving, we allow it to be as we declare that it is so. And so it is. Amen.